Today in Smackey's Garage, we're going to be looking at wheel spacers for my F-150. I have this set that was $100, and then I have this set that was $300. We're going to look at, is there any difference between them? We're going to run both sets on the truck and just see how well they perform. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so here we are in the garage. We have this set here that's from Bora. This set that I spent about $100 on, and we're going to see how well they perform. But first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at what the differences are between them. Functionally, they're supposed to both be hub-centric, and they're supposed to both essentially perform the same. There is something unique in the instruction manuals of one versus the other, which we will touch on. But I think what we're going to do is let's go ahead and take a look at the key differences between them, if any. So here are the wheel spacers. Overall and dimensionally, everything looks about the same. I checked on the inside here for mounting on the hub. Those are the same, essentially. This I have not checked yet, but we'll check that on the wheel to ensure that they're hub-centric. But, looking at them, there isn't too much of a difference. Overall, I weighed them. They weighed the same between them. The only difference I did note is in the style or grade of bolt being used. Now, these ones here, you can clearly see are marked WS327, grade 10. It says 10.9 in there, which is great for a metric stud. That's what you're looking for. But then when we look at these that are on the $100 part, it essentially has a U176 and then some markings on there, what it is. Now, what's a little bit weird about these markings is looking it up online, I'm not a bolt expert. These are used for SAE bolts. So that marking means SAE grade 8, not a metric stud. On a metric stud, you have like the 10.9, the 8.8 on there. But this is just a marking that maybe is a little bit unconventional. Maybe it isn't. I don't exactly know. Let me know down in the comments the difference in the bolts if you understand this. And not to confuse these at all, but I believe the grade 8 is actually equivalent to the metric class 10.9. So I would expect the bolts to be essentially the same. But the weirdest thing here is to have an SAE grade marking on a metric bolt. Let me know down in the comments if you have ever seen that before, if that's standard practice. Okay, so the one thing we need to talk about is just what makes a good wheel spacer that you want to run in your car or truck. And the important thing is they are hub-centric. And what that means is you want to ensure that you have a spacer that fits within these grooves and looks like this when installed. So you can see as this starts pushing this way, this is going to fit into this space and then this is going to fit into this space. The real important thing is it needs to be tight on both the hub and the rim. It needs to sit in there. If it doesn't, then you have a chance where it's potentially going to be offset on one side here or one side here, and you're going to get a lot of vibrations. Things will not fit right. So when you're looking at hub spacers, top of the line hub spacers, you're going to see they're always hub-centric. So a non-hub-centric spacer would look like this. And you can see it leaves this gap here, and this gap is what causes the problem because then this can go this way, this can go this way, and you really can't bolt it up and guarantee it's going to be on center. So hub-centric, both of these are hub-centric. That's what's important to look for. Now looking at the $100 wheel spacer, the one thing that I noticed on them is it requires you to re-torque all the lug nuts after 100 miles of driving, which is fine, then again every 2,000 to 3,000 miles. Now for me, someone that drives a lot, every 2,000 to 3,000 miles is a little bit too often for tightening wheel spacers, especially having to take off the truck tires to do it. Now for me, that would mean if I wait 6,000 for an oil change, I need to do this 2 to 3 times per oil change, which in my opinion is a little bit too much. The other thing that I saw is a torque reference. They suggest 14 millimeter studs be 70, 80 foot-pounds or T-pounds. You know that the 14 millimeter studs on the F-150 are 150 foot-pounds. Then the last is if you use your truck for off-roading or with chains in snow, then you should not use wheel spacers. Now the Bora ones, I guess the shorthand is Bulletproof Off-Road Wheel Adapters. So that, I think they're more confident in these US made ones to go off-roading than these other ones that I purchased. So now, after looking at these, let's go ahead and see how they look on the truck. Now, the wheel spacers in general are going to be easy to put on. All I really have to do is take the wheel off, put the wheel spacer on, torque it correctly, don't use an impact wrench, and then put the wheel back on. Should be pretty much as straightforward as that, but we're going to go ahead and do a bunch of checks to make sure everything fits correctly. I also need to get some new lug nuts. Thank you to everyone who told me which ones I should get. All right, so looking at this, a few things we want to check. First, I'm going to go ahead and put this on. I'm going to check it against this hub. And what I really want to happen is this to have almost no movement on the hub so that I can center it and it be good. So this is the $100 one that I purchased. Let's check the other one. They're both pretty good. I would say the more expensive one has less play, but it's very close. Like very, very close. Okay, now we need to check the fitment on the wheel itself. I've taken all the nuts off of these that are gonna hold it to the hub, and we're gonna check them. So first, we're gonna check the Bora one that's made in America. And it sits perfectly flat. It is in there nice and tight, so I wouldn't expect any vibrations from it. I'm relatively impressed at how good of a fit that is. Now let's go ahead and check the cheaper one. This one actually does not fit. Man. Okay, so this has all been cleaned up. What I'm seeing is this still doesn't have a great fit, and I can't actually push it to get it to go flat for this one, but for the Bora made in America one, it pretty much fit perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna try out a few other of these to see if there's any variation between them, but for some reason, this one just does not fit. I could probably, oh yeah, I could hammer it in, but that's not what you want to do with a wheel. Ugh. All right, so I know I said you guys are gonna get a comparison of them. That is your comparison. One fits on, one does not. All right, so I'm gonna put these on just as you would typically do a tire. Same generic way of tightening them down, making sure you're doing a star pattern as you do it, especially on these F150s. And we're gonna tighten them down, torque them down to lug nut spec, and then put the tire on, see how it looks. But I think the thing that this does show is probably not an area you wanna cheap out on for spacers. That spacer online did have some good reviews, some negative reviews. A little bit surprised that it didn't fit it on at all, even after I cleaned the wheel inside with carburetor cleaner. Then we're gonna torque these to the manufacturer's spec at 150 pound-feet. Now the next thing we look at is, do these actually need to be trimmed? And if they are sitting out past the end of this, you will have to trim them unless you have pockets on your wheels that can accept them. So this is something that you really need to pay attention to. So if these are coming into contact with your wheel, it's not going to set right. So ensure that this is not sticking out any further past this. And if it is, make sure that everything is sitting flat and you are not sticking out and you're not coming in contact with that wheel. And for the stock F150 wheel, this probably means this is the thinnest you could go without having to trim those lug nuts. And then back on we go. First, I'm gonna get flat, ensure everything fits correctly. Then I'm gonna reach my hand around on the inside and just double check to make sure everything's sitting flat in there. You can feel the rotor where it's sitting, and you can also feel this, so you can tell if it's sitting flat or not. If you can't tell, I would recommend taking some putty, putting it in the back here, and just ensuring that the wheel studs are not coming in contact with the rim itself. Then back to 150 foot-pounds. All right, that one is done. All right, so that does make a huge difference on the truck now. You can see the wheels actually sticking out a good amount compared to this side. So I'm gonna go ahead, we'll get the rest of them done, and then I'll give you my driving impressions of it. All right, doing the front, few things I noticed. One, to do this, you have to have the brake locked somehow to get there. I'm gonna use a screwdriver to do that, but I also need new brakes, which is something that I'm gonna have to take these off for in the next week or two. And then these studs are actually, they sit below flush, so it's not actually making contact. So you could fit a 1.5 here with, if you don't have these pockets, but that's not an issue for me. Just if you're looking for that information, there it is. So to do this, I think I'm gonna jam a screwdriver in here somewhere and hold it while I torque these down. All right, looks like we got everything on, and it looks really good. I do need to wash my truck, obviously, but spacers look really nice on the truck. You can see each tire just has a little bit of poke out, and we'll take some measurements of that. All right, those look really good. They do poke out just a little bit, which is pretty awesome. And these overall, I mean, definitely high quality. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drive this for a little while, and then I'm going to let you know exactly how it does and how it performs over maybe like a week or so. Give you better driving impressions of it than just one quick drive. So let's jump to that. Okay, so I've had these on the truck now for a few weeks, and I have to say, nothing's really changed. I don't notice any extra sounds. I don't notice any extra rubbing. All I have noticed is that a little bit more dirt gets on the side of the truck from the front wheels when I'm driving. Since they're not directly in the wheel well as they were before, that's kind of expected. So, you know, not really that much of an issue, just maybe a little bit harder to keep the truck clean. But, you know, overall, no change in driving performance whatsoever. For the first 10 to 15 miles of driving with it, I was hypersensitive to any vibrations and ensuring that everything stayed tight. And as I was checking them out, everything stayed tight. I did actually take one of them off because I was doing some brake work on my truck. And when I did that, still tight, still torqued down correctly. So no worries there. So let's go ahead and take this back to the garage and see how everything looks. As you can see, the truck looks really good with the stance. I do like the fact that the tires do stick out more. You know, I do think the 1.5 inches is perfect in the front. I do think if I were to do it again, I'd probably go a little bit shallower in the rear. I feel like maybe it's the combination of my tires plus the spacer that's pushing it a little bit too far, or maybe get fender flares. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this comparison of the two different wheel spacers, the Bora made in America one versus the cheaper alternative. Thanks for tuning in this week on Smackey's Garage. I'll link the wheel spacers in the description below. I'll see you next time.